Go ahead, Randy. You start.
Let's just start at the top here. How's the quarterback situation coming in?
Yeah, boy. I mean, I think they've improved steadily as the spring's gone on. So we're really pleased with where those guys are, what it looks like. Hunter has really grown through the early part of spring practice, and then those other guys, I think you see great growth. I think Rocco Beck had a really good day again today. Certainly glad that he got here early because I think it's really benefited him, and really the rest of those guys continue to do good things. So we'll evaluate the film today and see where they're at, and then again next Friday see where they're at again. But you hope for growth, and you're certainly seeing a lot of that.
You want separation this spring?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I want is growth. And, I obviously when you got a guy like Hunter that's had game proof that he can go in and have success, you certainly want to see where he grows. And then some of these other guys, man, to get live reps today, geez, you're talking some of them may be their first time we've ever gotten live reps just with the way it's been and certainly their situation. So I think you just want to see growth happen right now. We're really not doing a lot schematically on either side of the football. We just want to see guys fundamentally our base offense and defense, how they grow.
Matt, for the most part, you've kind of, over the last couple of years, kind of kept spring football behind closed doors. Why open it up this year, not just to us, but to the fans?
Yeah, I think the big thing, the big thing for all of us is it's such a young team that it needs to go into foreign environments. And, we got to kind of leave our comfort zone a little bit. We got to be able to get ourselves out. I've always said you kind of find out who you are when the lights come on. And, I'd rather find out a little bit closer to who we are earlier, than later. And with such a young team, I think changing the environments, putting your pads on, riding on the bus, getting out of our comfort zone is really big for this whole group.
What did you like out of the DBs today? It seemed like they were causing a lot of issues just for the offense getting hands on balls.
Yeah, I just, again, that's a competitive group right now. What Darian Porter's done has been nothing short of exceptional this spring. Tavon Kyle, there's a lot of experience back there, and everybody's fighting for playing time. So, again, I think that's a group that's really grown, and, not just today, but really throughout the entirety of the spring. They've had a really good spring so far.
TJ Tampa had some interesting confrontations with Shaw. I mean, they were fun to watch. TJ looks like he's
growing,
and
I think, for TJ, he's such a young player, and, and had some good moments and had some not so good moments a year ago. And, that's a young football player going in competitive, critical situations, and you're seeing it happen live in color a year ago, and you hope to see that guy continue to make great strides. I think we all know what kind of talent TJ has the ability to have. Now can you apply your experience from positives and failures a year ago and continue to move yourself forward? And I think we've seen a lot of that so far from TJ.
We all know Xavier produces, but what's the value he can give you for young guys like Greg Gaines and young guys in the program at his position?
I think the one thing that the great players we've had here, that when you come to practice, and today's practice really, right, and you say, man, those guys come compete. And when you got Will McDonald and you got Xavier Hutchinson, and your best players are your best practice players, it teaches the values of every young man that comes into your program, what the standard is day in and day out. And I think for us, that's what's really fun about this group. Man, you see Isaiah Lee and Trevor Downing, like those guys are playing darn good football right now. And when the best players play that way every single day, then everybody rises to the occasion. So, I think that's fun. And you saw Greg make a great play today. You saw X have some great plays. I mean, man, those guys could easily be preparing for the draft, and they're here practice 10 or 9 of spring practice and demanding to be the best version of themselves. So we appreciate it.
Similar to the quarterbacks, what have you seen from the running backs so far? Just, is there anyone stepping up as a leader in your mind in that group?
Yeah, I think that group is obviously Jairo, I think right now is the leader from experience, but I think young talent. We've been really impressed with what that group has looked like through so far. So I think that's a heated competition. I think it will be through the entirety of the rest of the spring, through the early part of fall camp. I just think it's going to be a big time competition. And obviously Jairo, we trust him and we know what he can do, and it's fun to see what these other guys are going to have the ability to do for us.
What was the reason for Dion not being out there today?
Yeah, Dion got dinged up, so he'll probably be out the rest of spring. Nothing major. We know we'll get him back full go here probably by the end of spring, so he'll be out for the remainder of the spring.
Is center Trevor Downing's natural position? Did he play that in high school?
No, he
Okay.
didn't. And
Okay.
who knows what he played over there in Creston.
I know,
you
yeah,
know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like, man, I went to a basketball game, Randy had 2 Don Joy knee braces on. I said, man, I've never seen a basketball player play with 2 Don Joys. But, you know, I think for Trev, I would say it is his natural position. I think he's got a chance to be one of the elite interior linemen in all of college football. I think you saw that really happen a year ago. Then you watch him go in that Clemson game and how really the offense all of a sudden came together. And I really think a lot of that was because of Trevor. And I really think he's not only the leader, and we've always said you'd love to have your best player playing center because it's such a critical, especially in this conference, we see so many different fronts. And Trev's become a real student of the game. I'm really proud of him, but man, I think he's got a chance to be a great anchor to this offensive line, and really proud of what he's done and really excited about what that group's got the ability to do.
What you referenced about the young team and a program where you're kind of in a mode where you're not resetting, but there is some elements of that.
Sure.
You as a coach, do you feel more apprehension about that or excitement about that?
Oh, I think I feel excitement every time, you know, no matter what time of year or what time of team it is this time of year, because I think you're trying to push all the right buttons right now that give you a chance to be steady and calm when it matters most, and that's the fall. And so I love the uniqueness of this time of year because it is unique, and you know, every team's different, every situation's different. I think you're trying to master who this team is and push all the right buttons and create as much chaos and challenge them as much as you can so they can become the best version of themselves they can be when we need them the most. So certainly a unique dynamic and a different dynamic than a year ago and really the last couple of years. So that's exciting.
What have you seen from Anthony Johnson so far? He's kind of an old face in a new place, playing more back on the back of safety, and having such a great career at corner.
Really, like Rob said, you know, honestly about Xavier, and it's shame on me for leaving Anthony out because, to be honest with you, a pillar of our program, number one, you know, wanting to move for the betterment of the team, the safety. I do think at the end of the day it's going to be for the betterment of him as well. But man, that guy has been spirited, has been the leader, him and Orion Vance, and what those two have done, and just in terms of not just the defense, but man, the global piece of this football team of knowing what the standard is, knowing what the expectation is, and having the ability to bring it every day. And I think, you know, a credit to him of why you see that defensive backfield playing really good football right now, because I think, you know, what he's done is he gets those guys in the film room when nobody's watching. He's the guy leading the way. So we appreciate him. And I think, you know, Greg Eisworth kind of passed the rope down to Anthony, and he's taken it and run with it. And we're really proud of that.
Coach, to expand on Trevor Downing, who was an offensive tackle at Preston.
Oh, I knew somebody would know it. I already knew that. I knew it. All right.
So what got you to recruit Trevor Downing when you got here?
Oh, man, you know, I think Trevor for us was a monumental win, you know, I don't think over the period of the last couple of years before we had gotten there, we'd been able to win that battle versus an elite offensive lineman in this state. And, you know, we knew what Trevor had the ability to be. I think who Trevor is, his family is, the work ethic, the commitment to excellence that they stand for day in and day out. And, man, Trevor's still the guy that plays the game on Saturday, goes home on Sunday, works on the farm, and comes back in and gets ready for the next game. I mean, that's character, and that's excellent at its best. So, you know, I think all those things are things we wanted to instill in this program from the beginning. And you got to remember, when we recruited Trevor, you know, you're not talking about a great legacy of offensive linemen for that period of time that Trevor had seen before we got here. So, you know, Trevor really laid the groundwork for us to build the offensive line moving forward. And he's really been nothing short of exceptional. I mean, having to deal with adversity, missing a season, having to come back and lead through that. He's been unbelievable, and we're really proud of him. And honestly, we're seeing his best right now. I would say it's been February, March, April, and May. You know, I think he's got a chance to be the best Trevor he's been, and it's certainly been that so far for us, and I'm really proud of him.
Thank you. Take one more question.